wala siamini. Daddy goes, wananiita big boss. Mzungu nje daddy goes.
Hi Buzz Buddies, with me is Mzungu Kichaa, straight outer, code 255. You have a very funny name, a very interesting name at that. Mzungu Kichaa. Yeah? Yeah, Mzungu, we know it's a white man, and Kichaa is a crazy man. So why did you choose that kind of funny name, Mzungu Kichaa?
So you're okay with crazy people? You like crazy people, right? They're good people, no? So I chose the name. I didn't choose the name. I was given it by Juma Nature when I just started getting involved in Bongo Flava in 99, 2000, so 20 years ago. I was anonymous. I wasn't called Mzungu Kichaa, but he kept calling me Mzungu Kichaa, and I told him, don't call me Mzungu Kichaa, stop it, stop it. And he refused. The next day in the studio, we were at Bongo Records, again, Mzungu Kichaa. The next day after that, again, Mzungu Kichaa. So, you know, some years back, when I launched in 2010, I called myself Mzungu Kichaa, which means the crazy white man, like you just said. And we were on a radio show here in Nairobi, and some caller called in and they said, we should call him Mzungu Mwitu, which means the fake Mzungu. I speak Swahili, I play African music, you know, there's something that's not quite right. So I must be a fake Mzungu.
You're currently in Kenya to promote your new album, Huyu Nani. Huyu Nani, who is this? Yeah. So basically, why did you come up with this name? Why did you choose this name for your album? Who is this, Huyu Nani?
I never think that, you know, I don't believe that the fan or the listener will ever truly know who the artist is, you know. It's very hard to really get to know who the person is you're listening to is, you know. But I'm really trying on this album. I'm trying to explain where I'm coming from, musically, lyrically, and there's a lot of things, you know, like, what is it I say? I say, Kimbiza, Kimbiza, we can also take it slow. A seed needs love if you want it to grow. You never really know how the beat will flow. Only time will tell, tick tock, but I done did it. So you never really know which way your music is going to go, you know, and we can only wait and see, you know. So I think also, how am I going to be perceived? How is the listener going to understand Mzungu Kichaa? We'll never know, you know, but I'm trying my best with Huyu Nani, Nani Huyu, to explain it. And I've got a lot of good tracks for my people.
And speaking of Huyu Nani, a great body of work, you know, 11 songs featuring our own Sauti Sol, the best band in Africa at that. Yeah, and having gone through the album, I realized that, you know, it's so hard to kind of describe your style of music, because your album itself has some essence of Afrobeats, it has some essence of reggaeton in it, it has a bit of EDM in it, it has some Congolese vibe, you know, rumba in it. So what would you ideally describe as your style of music as Mzungu Kichaa?
I'm a Bongo Flava artist because I started in Bongo Flava way back. I even helped create the sound of Bongo Flava by singing on songs, on Juma Nature's first song, Hilly Game. When he started calling me Mzungu Kichaa, I sang the chorus together with TID. So I was anonymous back then, but I had a big role in creating the Bongo Flava sound. But I mean, our history in African music is rich. Congolese music spread across the region, you know, at independence. And when I grew up in Zambia, I was listening to Kanda Bongo Man, of course, Yvonne Chaka Chaka. And then later on, I became a big fan of Franco as a guitarist, Tabule, some of the legends from Congo, you know. And my mentor or my teacher, guitar teacher, was lead guitarist of Remy Ongala, Kawele, when I was living in London. So that music is very, very important to me. So everything you hear there is me. I'm not picking it up overnight. It's something I've grown and I've developed for the past 20, 30 years. You say there's a Afrobeat sound in there. There's a, you know, I was influenced on the song Mizuka. I was influenced by Niger. featuring Kaka, who's the biggest dancehall artist in Denmark, and Ima the drummer, who's based in Kenya. So there's I think there's a lot. I was just exploring all aspects of the music in the region, and I'm very proud of what we created. Even songs like Mpenzi, with Lady JD, which is an old school sound, and I think obviously the lead single, Nani Huyu Nani, ni yeye kweli, which is speaking about who Mzungu Kichaa is. I think that, I'm trying to push it in Tanzania, and it's old school bongo flavor, It's not the sound that people are listening to and that's making waves on the radio stations, but what really made me happy coming to Nairobi was that when listeners heard it on the radio and they started calling in, they said it's gengeton.
Big collaborations, getting the likes of Feed Q, our very own Sauti Soul, Kaka from Denmark, the legendary Feed Q, Kiki, Grace Matata, and all that. Like, what did it take you to, bring all these people together and get into the booth with them to come up with this great body of work?
So it took taking a break from touring live, because I tour live every year. I go to Europe with a full band, and I had to take a break in order to go to the studio, really focus on recording. I teamed up with P-Funk Majani on one of the tracks featuring the new bongo artist, KK, who's an amazing hip-hop artist, on You Got Me. And then I teamed up with a Chilean producer who's based in Denmark, who gave it that Latin sound, but still, it still remained bongo flavor somehow. But the collabos, they all happened naturally. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't hard to bring those people together. These were people that I should have worked with ages ago, So it was just taking the time, focusing, and I think it's a new era for Mzungu Kichaa, in a sense that I've started collaborating more. I used to focus on just writing myself and being musical in my own world, But looking forward, because I really enjoyed this process, I'm going to be trying to collabo with a lot of new artists, established artists, not just within East Africa, but also in the rest of Africa.
Asha Wangu, that you featured our very own Sauti Soul. What was the whole vibe, coming up with this song? And can you just tell us what this song is all about?
Yeah. Asha Wangu was inspired by a song called Fanta Wangu, written by Kawele Mutimanwa, who's Congolese. And by the way, Mzungu Kichaa in Lingala is Mondele Liboma. So for you Congolese people out there, that's also what I was given, aka playing with the Congolese musicians in London. But he wrote this song, Fanta Wangu, which is a big classic from the 80s, I guess. And it touches a little bit on that style. And I have credited him as well, as the author, as a that he has inspired this song. And then we wrote a new chorus. We wrote a new vibe. And I think you mentioned EDM, and I think that's where the beat itself is, it has a kind of Afro pop sound, but it also has that EDM sound. I think it's a vibe. I think it's I think it speaks for itself, and I'm very proud of the song.
Do you plan to venture into more collabos with Kenyan artists? And if yes, which Kenyan artist has impressed you so far?
When I did that interview and people started saying that Nani Huyu was gengeton, they also started saying who I should collabo with, and I was given 2 tracks on the radio station. One I don't quite remember, but we ended up choosing what's his name? Simple Boy. This was yesterday. I promised that we were going to, in the next 2 days, do the collabo and release it on the Friday. So, this upcoming Friday. So let's see what happens. But I don't know. I've seen a few. I need to research the Kenyan scene more, but I've seen so much talent. Phenomenal. Is that how you pronounce her name? Phenomenal. She's very cool. Of course, you have the likes of Blinky Bill, who I've been around as well many times. You have Muthoni, the drummer queen, doing amazing stuff as well. I mean, we're talking about the legends now, you know, and of course, Abbas Kubaf knows me, and you know, we've been around together for a long time. So why not do something even with one of the very established artists from way back when? But also, you know, of course, you know, Jones is making big moves, and I really respect his talent. Octopizzo as well. I saw him perform live, and I take my hat off for him. I think there's a huge talent in Kenya. So I'm looking forward to researching more. You know, trying to connect. It's also about having a vibe with somebody.
As we wait for that Stivo Simple Boy Collabo, vijana tuache miadarati. Yeah, but that guy is a big name right now. Yeah. You know, he blew up last year and he just took over the place. Yeah. So back to you. You know, you also blew up, you know, after doing a song with the legendary Professor J. So after that, you kind of slowed down a bit. You know, you went for a break. I think you are still touring the world or something. Yeah. Then you came back again, and now you've given us a great body of work, Nani Huyu. So do you feel like, you know, the break that you took from the music industry had a toll on your career, or is there any impact, positive or negative, that it had on your music career?
I mean, the negative, of course, is being forgotten. You know, now everyone has to try and remember who is Mzungu Kichaa again. You know, as you know, especially in Tanzania, where I really broke through. You know, and have a huge fan base. But also Kenya, because I you know, in the beginning of my career, I came over to Kenya to do a lot of things. You know, perform at some big festivals and do some big TV shows as well. You know, so I think it's. That's the negative impact. The positive impact, of course, is the fact that I've been finding my, you know, my voice again, or rediscovering voice, and trying to work out what can I contribute that's new. And of course, also, you know, you have to remember that we also need to start a family. So I have two small daughters of 4 and 6. You know, and they also need their daddy around, sindio. So the good news, of course, is that when I put my daughters to bed, I bring my guitar. After reading them a story, I bring my guitar. So my guitar skills as just me and the guitar have become, you know, like really elevated. You know, so I'm looking forward to sharing that on, you know, IG stories maybe. And IGTV, you know, where you can watch a whole song. So do follow, you know, follow Mzungu Kichaa, and and back to that, you know, like my fellow friend who's also good on the guitar, Bien Amisol. He, you know, he's always telling me like I need to do something unplugged, just guitar, vocals. And I think we need to explore that, you know, across the board. A lot of artists need to try and do that, because we're very focused on this electronic sound, you know, and radio hits. So I'm looking forward to trying exploring that too, you know, on the ukulele, which is the small 4-stringed instrument.
How does 2020 look like for Mzungu Kichaa after Nani Huyu? What's next?
You never know how the beat will flow. So I think, you know, it's also trying to gauge how the album performs. Right now, I'm really proud to say that my biggest listenership is in Nigeria, followed by Nairobi, followed by Tanzania. And it used to be, because these streaming platforms, you know, it used to be Europe. So I'm really happy that Boomplay is in the picture, and that there's this platform that people can access the music right here on the continent, because this album is meant for the continent. So I'm really hoping that people are going to receive it with open arms and open hearts, and that I will be able to meet face to face with my fans across the continent in the form of performances. But right now we have a tour planned for May, and I'll be touring with my band to Europe. And I'm hoping now to increase some dates as well in Africa. So Nairobi, if there's anyone out there, please hook us up. It's been a long time since Mzungu Kichaa performed in the city. Uganda, it's also been a very, very long time. West Africa, I've never been to West Africa. So I think that could be amazing. Harare was a huge success when I went there last time. I love performing in Zimbabwe. You know, there are so many beautiful countries to visit. So I'm hoping that 2020 is going to be about the continent. I'm a man of the people. And, you know, you might see me looking different, but don't bring any prejudice to me, because I have grown up with no prejudice at all, you know. And I think we need to keep it pure and true. And we need to fight everything that is considered racism. That's why I go to tour in Europe and raise the Tanzanian flag, the East African flag, and try to let people know in Europe that Africa is a beautiful place. It's a place to come and visit. It's not a place to be scared of. It's a place with amazing music. So yeah, so I'm here to build and to elevate all of us here. So, you know, the first album was called Tuko Pamoja, which means we are one, unity. So, so I think that's a very important message, and that I stand by. I will always stand by. Came from eating a nice local buffet, so I sampled everything. Of course, ugali is not Kenyan. Yeah, ugali is not Kenyan. We have ugali. In Zambia, nsima is probably, you know, you probably don't even eat rice in Zambia. So I grew up on ugali. Yeah, no, I love ugali, simple food, ugali, maharage, mchicha. And one thing I loved about Nairobi was that there were a lot of independent girls, you know, who were out and about, taking care of themselves, you know. So for me as a young man, when I came to Nairobi, I thought, wow, you know, this is very, very cool.
Check out his new album, Huyu Nani, now on Boomplay, and follow him at Mzungu Kichaa, even as we wait for that collabo with the man himself, Stivo. Simple. Bye. Until next time, guys, this has been Boombaz KE. Bye.
We all deserve some loving to help us through the day.